What's good? It's your boy Bugatti NYC. And like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. See, we got some people already in the building. Glad to see that y'all made it. It's Tuesday. That's right, Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. Y'all see how the days are going by so fast already? A lot of stuff happening. I'm just glad that y'all come to chill with me, hang out on the bottom line, and get to this bottom line information so that we can know what's going on, stay informed. Thank you guys for subscribing. Love the fact that we get the chance to do this every day. But without any further ado, because we got a lot to cover today, y'all. Really being straight up with y'all, I'm talking about we got a lot to go over. Far as we got all blaze and no glory. Joe Biden, what would your legacy be after your term is done? You know, many men, we do things with the hopes and the aspirations that moving forward in life, we're going to be able to leave a legacy, something that we're known for, something that people can say, that guy did that. That's why my question today is, all blaze, no glory. What will be Joe Biden's legacy as he leaves office? What will be your legacy? As we know, there's a lot of things that are happening, a lot of laws that are being put in the final days of his presidency. A lot of people are not agreeing with what he's doing. We're going to get into that. We've also got, can Trump overturn New York City's congestion pricing once he's in office? I said this yesterday. The thing about this is, it seems as if Trump has to be everyone's savior now, not just the country when it comes down to states, but all the way down to cities, counties, and small areas, because we have so much craziness that is being enacted. As far as what I'm referencing, I'm talking about congestive pricing. It's to the point where now the president that's incoming, we're begging him to fix local situations in which our local government is supposed to have taken care of, but they're not even doing that. We've also got California mom who slams Governor Newsom for neglect in the wildfire coverage. He's trying to get up out of there, trying to run and jump and get inside of his caravan to get away. No. Can we get a word with you for a moment? We need to know what you have planned and why this happened. This is what a mom had to say, and we have that coverage as well. So without any further ado, like I said, we got a banger. So let's get into it. Joe Biden, your legacy, what will it entail? We have a question right now, and this is the question beginning here.
Today, President Biden is set to deliver his final foreign policy address 1 week before President-elect Donald Trump is sworn in. While Biden tries to define his legacy, one family, there's their picture, is fighting to bring home an American hostage being held by the Taliban. Ryan Corbett has been trapped in Afghanistan since 2022, but his family hasn't heard anything from Joe Biden until just yesterday. Ryan's wife, Anna Corbett, joins us now exclusively after that conversation with President Biden. Thank you so much for joining us, Anna.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I can't imagine what you're going through. I know that you have made 16 trips to Washington, D.C. Speaker Johnson invited you and your 3 children to the State of the Union address, and you were there. You helped pass 2 resolutions, hopefully to bring Ryan home. But you just heard from President Biden yesterday, despite your efforts. You've been trying to get in touch with him for a long time, right?
That's correct. I've been asking for a meeting. I was told and promised I would meet with him directly. And just on Friday, I was given the news that I would have a short call with him, and that happened yesterday.
What was that conversation like?
He was very kind and empathetic, but what I heard him say is that he is not bringing Ryan home, and that.
So he can take care of his son. He can pardon Hunter. He can do all of these preemptive pardons and all of this other stuff, but nobody seems to be bringing Joe the paperwork to bring home hostages, to take care of people at home, to bring people back that actually committed no crimes, that have family here that's asking him, can you please bring my family members home. What's your legacy, Joe?
It was absolutely devastating because, as you just said, I have been advocating fiercely on Ryan's behalf, on my family's behalf. Ryan just keeps missing milestones, and he should be part of teaching Caleb how to hunt. Caleb shot his first buck last year without Ryan, and Kessie was voted prom queen without Ryan, and Kessie graduated from high school without Ryan, and it is getting too long. And to hear after all this effort that there is a deal on the table, there is a way to bring Ryan home, and it's not being taken is incredibly crushing to our family.
Yeah, Anna, there were reports that surfaced last week about a deal to trade 3 American hostages, one including Ryan, for one of the prisoners at Gitmo with ties to Osama bin Laden. I know that you went down to Palm Beach. You're from New York. You went down to Palm Beach. You camped out in front of Mar-a-Lago, and Donald Trump got word that you were there. What happened next?
I have been down here for a couple of days, and I have heard from several that President Trump is concerned about our family. He knows that we are down here. He knows about our situation and is very concerned. And amazingly, yesterday he sent his incoming national security advisor to meet with me where I was. And incoming national security advisor Mike Waltz actually gave us more than an hour just listening to our story.
So again, when I tell you guys, just because the network may be a network that you don't like, does not mean the message is not true. And look at what's going on already, and he's not even the president yet. Already sent somebody to meet with this woman. He's already threatened Hamas about hostages, so they know that he's not playing. So they're gonna know that he's not playing. Bottom line, Joe, what is your legacy right now?
And hearing about the situation, it was just mind-blowing because it took 16 months to actually get a meeting where I traveled to DC to meet with the current national security advisor, Jake Sullivan. And this shows that President Trump is very concerned, is wanting to prioritize our family. I know he's tough. He wants to make deals. And I am extremely encouraged. And the contrast of my experience is just mind-blowing right now.
Yes, I want to hear about Ryan's story, but what did the conversation with Michael Waltz, how did that go? Are you getting a feeling that they will bring him home during this administration?
I absolutely believe they will bring Ryan home. The details, of course, are unclear. This is complicated, and I'm not an expert in any of this, but it's very clear that the incoming administration cares about bringing U.S. citizens back to their country and caring about Ryan and George, who is also held with him, who have done nothing wrong. They've been designated as wrongfully detained and accused of nothing.
So basically, she had to wait 4 years for a new incoming president in order to get her husband back, hopefully, because we don't really know. But as you can see from the way that she's feeling now and from the responses and the way that they're actually, listening to her, she has a better chance of getting her husband back because of the new incoming president, not the president that's been there 4 years, that's been sitting on his hands. And at this point, he's only signing in things that can deter the growth for the country moving forward. What do you guys think about that story right there? I'm here to read it. Let me know. Also coming up, we got the rush. This is what he is doing. The rush and awe of the blizzarding executive orders. They're so busy getting all of this other stuff done. It's just crazy. But we got Corey Mills that's going to be speaking on these confirmations. So check this out. I got a couple of areas that we need to get into because this is just something that I really think that we need to be paying attention to at this point, because there's a crazy situation going on now where this guy's only considering his own family members, not really doing nothing, not taking care of nobody else. All he is what? All blaze and no glory. That's what Joe Biden is, and that's the bottom line.
Do you think inflation is a political liability?
That's a great asset. More inflation. You're a stupid son of a. The only thing, by being the oldest president, I know more world leaders than any one of you ever met in your whole goddamn life.
A few classy examples there. President Biden going off on reporters. As we count down the final days of his presidency, we're learning that Biden most likely will not hold an end-of-term news conference, which is traditional, but he will deliver a foreign policy speech tomorrow and then a farewell address on Wednesday. Speeches are one thing, But questions are important for our leaders. You wonder, is the president afraid to answer for some of these controversial decisions that he's made recently? For instance, you can go down the list, pardoning his son, he said he wouldn't, transferring 11 Gitmo terrorist detainees to Oman for resettlement, see how that goes, commuting sentences of dozens of death row prisoners, among others.
That's crazy. Commuting sentences of death row prisoners that were already sentenced to death row, right? He commuted their sentences. You know how many families, mothers, sisters, uncles, aunts are hurt behind what he did just with the strike of a pen? People that actually were sentenced, he pardoned them. Who won't this guy pardon? Who won't Joe Biden pardon at this point? It's just the use of a pen and whatever he can get to grab before he gets out of office. What we got going on here? What's up, Corey? What's up, y'all? What's up? We got part of GM, Stanford PhD Web Project, the Pink Network. I think you're out of pocket speaking on hostage situations you know nothing about. Okay, that's your opinion. That is your opinion, and you have the right to say your opinion, and you can leave it up there. Let's keep going. But I know I'm right about the way he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, and how he's trying to offset and hurt everything else that we're trying to do. He's trying to stop drilling offshore. He's trying to commute people's sentences. What about that? You're telling me about hostages. What about people that were already committed to M's and doing certain things that already got sentences? What do you feel about that, sir?
Let's hear what the daughter on that last point of a murder victim had to say when Biden decided to take her mother's killer off of death row.
It's very frustrating that President Biden can have this power. You know, he wasn't charged for his own mishandling of classified documents because he was too old, and they said his memory was failing. He only proved that he's not capable of making presidential decisions.
Well, the president has reportedly also been convinced by, of all people, Al Sharpton to issue more pardons coming up.
I recently spoke to Reverend Al Sharpton, and he said that he wanted the president to issue a pardon for Baltimore County State Attorney Marilyn Mosby and Jesse Jackson Jr. Can we expect to hear an announcement on any high-profile pardons such as these?
Yeah, I'm not going to get ahead of the president. He's going to make some more announcements or pardons and commutations. The president and his team is working through it. They're trying to figure out the best.
Somebody said he didn't pardon them, he commuted them. We know the difference, Kylie, the kingdom. He did not pardon them, he commuted them. There is a difference. The difference in pardoning is they don't have to do the time anymore, just because you think that you know what you're talking about. And pardoning is taking away the whole charge, but they don't have to do no time. And commuting them means that they'll just have to stay in jail for the rest of the time. Like they're getting life in jail. It's still a bad thing. You don't know what you're talking about. You're taking people off death row that should go ahead and get the bottom line is what I'm saying. Let them get it. I'm not being nice about giving them their sentence, handing down what they're supposed to get if that's what the judge and the jury said that they're supposed to get for the crime that they were guilty of. You do not have the power to say they should be able to, live the rest of their lives, especially when they do certain sort of crimes, crimes, certain things to children or whatever the nature is. You have no idea what you're talking about. Keep it up. You will get up out of here because you have no idea what you're talking about. Heck, no, he isn't. Pray for the fire victims. That's right. No, you said Biden pardoned them. You misspoke. That's all. Excuse me. I said Biden pardoned someone else, his son, other people that he's trying to cover. Don't make me do this. I got videos to play. I'm going to get you out of here.
Way forward.
So that certainly inspires confidence given what they've done so far. And I think the translation there from KJP is, yes, there are more pardons coming. Maybe part of that sort of laundry list from Al Sharpton. I want to start, Anita, with you on this question about the possibility, maybe the likelihood that Biden is not going to do a term-ending press conference. He has avoided questions in an unprecedented way throughout.
Now I'm going to tear him up even more. He won't do a ending press conference because press is going to ask him questions. And if the press asks him questions, they may ask questions that make sense. They may ask him why he did all of the pardons. They may ask him why he commuted the sentences of death row inmates. They may ask him that, and he doesn't want to answer those questions. And he probably can't. And he's going to show how much of a dunce he is by by interacting with people that way. He's going to do something that's written, scripted, something that's controlled, and get him up out of there. Bottom line.
About his term, just from a journalistic standpoint, isn't it important for the leader of the free world to answer in a formal setting questions as he exits the stage?
Yeah, of course it is. And in a White House briefing, KJP was very ambiguous about whether he would do that. I'm guessing that he's not going to. President Biden holds the record for the fewest number of press conferences of the last 7 presidents. I think when you weigh the risk reward, the White House team looks at that and thinks, there's too much risk there. Look at the things you listed at the top, the commutations, the pardoning of his son, a number of other things. If he's asked about that, I think he's going to have trouble answering. He mixes up dates, names, events, too much risk.
So, Jason, how much of this do you think is his team? Because it's all about his team, right?
But no, nobody want to talk about the truth. Everybody want to live in fantasy land. Everybody want to front. Everybody want to be on some, oh no. And then all of a sudden, it's okay to not take him, to not charge him with crimes that he already was found from because he's too old and he's not able to be able to be held accountable for that. If you can't be held accountable for crimes and you're too old to be the president. That means that people are walking up to you with paperwork right now saying, hey, sign this. This is going to throw another monkey wrench. And you're like your old granddaddy eating ice cream. All right, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Give me the pen. Give me the pen. And don't even know what's going on. That's what's happening. And it's been going on for years. It's been going on for years. Same reason why Kamala and him and his wife ain't cool no more. Because they felt like she backdoored him. Now, we're going to go to the $11 million scam that got a man 11 years. Was it worth it? And let me ask you guys a question before I turn around to this clip. $11 million, 11 years. 11 years, $11 million. $11 million, 11 years. Would you do it? Think about it. Would you go to jail for 11 years for $11 million? Do me a favor, you guys, if you like the content, do me a favor right now while we're here. Give me some more likes. We got 4 likes in the building. Got much more coming up. We got about 9 more clips. Let's get the likes up. Let's keep it going. Come on, we got 4. I'm going to turn around, get this other clip going. But what I want to know from you guys is 11 years worth $11 million to you. In prison, would you do it? Would you do 11 years in prison for $11 million? Check this out.
Arthur Lee Crawford Jr. pulled off a heist that was right out of the movies. And they say he did it all while in a maximum security facility that houses Georgia's most hardened criminals. This is the mastermind behind a massive heist. 31-year-old Arthur Lee Caulfield Jr. used contraband cell phones to call and convince a Charles Schwab customer service representative to...
Charles Schwab. Now, this man was in prison. He was so smart. He was able to call Charles Schwab and get them to give him $11 million. So I can't be mad at him.
To wire $11 million out of Sidney Kimmel's account. He then sent the money to Idaho, bought more than 6,000 gold coins, flew them on a private plane to Atlanta, where Caulfield allegedly used some of the money to buy a mansion. The scheme was uncovered back in 2020, but recent court documents revealed it was Kimmel who was...
So guess what? I'm talking about he was buying this stuff while he was in prison. This is crazy. It's crazy.
the victim. Kimmel owned the Jones Apparel Company, which has brands like Stuart Weitzman and Nine West. He sold that company in 2014 for $2.2 billion. And now, at age 94, makes movies with his production company. Caulfield is a documented gang member serving a 14-year sentence for armed robbery and has been masterminding crime from behind bars for a while. He is facing attempted murder charges for ordering a shooting in Atlanta while locked up. It is suspected that Kimmel was not the only wealthy person Caulfield stolen from, but it may be the prisoner's biggest take. A federal prosecutor in court said Mr. Caulfield has figured out a way to access accounts belonging to high net worth individuals, frankly, billionaires.
Yo, so now I'm talking about when you orchestrate stuff from prison, like, I mean, like, that's the reason why he's in prison. But the question that I asked you guys, you think it's worth it? Not what he did, but would you do 11 years in prison for $11 million? I wouldn't, because you never know what's going to happen while you're in there. The people that in there may find out that you're getting 11 million and might not let you get out. So I don't know about that, big beast. Lewis bad, he said, and I can keep the money. Hell yeah. Don't ask me no dumbass question like that again. Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Big B said yes immediately. Russian y'all said not at all. See, Russian y'all, you probably thinking like me, y'all. All right, let me see. Lewis Bad said if he can't go to jail because he's not mentally there, then you can't make choices that will affect us American citizens. Someone needs to immediately stop this cat charade. Oh yeah, he talking about, exactly, he talking about Biden. Okay. Gabriel said you don't even deserve 4. I mean, I'd call this intellectual dishonesty. Now you gotta go. See what I'm saying, though? Don't do that to yourself. Boom, you gotta go. And I'm mean with the moderating. I do it myself. What up, K-pop dancer? We over here just floating around, showing some different work and stuff like that. What's going on in the city? What's going on in different boroughs and stuff. But let's go. No time is valuable. You can't get time back from your babies or loved ones. There you go, Laylo. There you go. They said no. 6 days, the real one returns. Amen. That's right, Ange. What's happening here? What's happening here is we showing what's going down. We showing what's going down. But y'all said, a lot of y'all said that y'all would take that 11 years for that $11 million. So some of you guys in here, y'all are Sparta. Y'all like, whatever. I'm going in there and I'm coming out and I'm gonna be rich. I ain't trying to hear it. You know, get you some goons while you in there. Get you a loan. Somebody give you $500,000. What you do is you get you some goons and let you know, yo, hold me down while I'm in here. I got y'all. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never say that y'all can't do that. I mean, it's crazy, but I wouldn't do it. Let's get to this congestive pricing stuff. This is the point where I have to keep on coming back to, and it's not fair because it's like we're exhausting Trump. Everybody's like, can Trump do it? Trump do it? Trump do it? Trump do it? He probably can, but how much did a man have to do? Got to worry about federal, got to worry about war, got to worry about fiscal. Now you got to come to our cities like New York and worry about stuff like congestive pricing. What y'all think about this congestive pricing thing? Because everybody's thinking that Trump can basically take away the congestive pricing situation in New York. I mean, it would be phenomenal if he could. But again, why does he have to do everything? Why do we have to worry about Trump coming in and helping us with that as well? It's pretty crazy, but can he do it? We're going to see.
Well, this morning, your commute just got more expensive, especially for those who use the PATH train.
All you gotta do is
Oh, you've never used samples like this before. This is Arcade, the ultimate sample
Trains.
And as far as congestion pricing goes, New York Republicans say they have faith it won't last long. It just got started. But after a meeting with President-elect Donald Trump over the weekend, they say he's promised to kill the plan. Good Day's Haley Fixler is live in the West Village with the very latest on what's happening. Haley, what are you hearing?
Hey, good morning, Dan Tishani. Yeah, the group went down to Florida to meet with the president-elect this weekend. And like you said, they said that he will kill congestion pricing. Now, this is...
If he does, we still got to fight. I think the next thing is getting rid of Holcomb. And I'm considering running for governor. Y'all might be laughing. Y'all might think I'm crazy. But at this point, none of y'all won't do it. Y'all don't want to do it. So I might as well just do the show from the governor's mansion every morning and just y'all tell me what I need to be doing. And we run New York City. And every one of you guys probably want to think of doing that too, because it's to the point where the most craziest thing that you're thinking up in your mind can actually become the truth. All the nut stuff that I ever thought about happening is going on in the world. So how come good stuff can't happen? Because I don't want to do nothing bad. I don't want to hurt people. I want to see people win. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent. You don't even got to like me, because I don't even like myself sometimes. But that don't mean that I'm going to do stuff negative to you or about you or your family members, because I want to see people happy. I don't determine your happiness, you do. But you should be able to get a fair wage. You should be able to live a good way. You should be able to have savings. You should be able to raise your kids safely. That's it. Real talk. I don't even care about nothing else, bottom line. Everything else is just pluses. Just like waking up in the morning, we always be stressed out about problems. Guess what? You're lucky you woke up this morning to deal with the problem. So the problem is actually a blessing. And problems present opportunity. All you got to do is figure out the answer in the problem. So it's telling you the answer halfway right there. But I digress.
Something that he's been quite open that he's against, even before congestion pricing went into effect. So the group of lawmakers included Representatives Mike Lawler, Nick LaLota, Andrew Garbarino, and Nicole Maliotakis. They talked about the salt cap and the various policies and laws, including congestion pricing. Now, some of them even posted on social media after the meeting, sharing selfies of the group, even photos with their thumbs up. The lawmakers say that Trump says they are working on how the administration will be able to get rid of congestion pricing. Now, Lawler went on Fox News last night.
This makes me really happy. And it lets me know that they really serious. They went down there, they sat with him, and he's actually gonna do something about it. I'm happy. I'm happy for the people. If this actually happens, it will be a major smack in the face to Jokal Hochul, and I would just love for that to happen, for us to save some money, and for some of their nonsense to be turned around right in their face and where I live at, because I would be able to see the pleasure of, and to feel the pleasure of that. I got a motorcycle. I live uptown. I want to be able to drive my motorcycle downtown. But if I go past a certain street, I got to pay $9 or a toll. That's ridiculous. And you guys think that congestive pricing is so good. Now the trucks can't move around. Now a lot of taxis are not making that much money in the mid-city, in the city and stuff like that. All you non-native New Yorkers don't know what y'all talking about. And you real soft. Y'all are very soft. We are Generation X. We got nothing for free. We had to bust our butt. We went outside and drank out the garden hose. Our mother used to kick us out all day to tell us what to go do or whatever. Like, we didn't have the courtesies and the pluses and the stuff that you guys have now. So when we look at the way that y'all cry about the most lightest things, it's ridiculous. Congestive pricing, to me, I think it doesn't make sense. Just being honest with you. And I hope that Trump does do something in order to do something about it. Because to be honest with you, Jokal Hochul is making life worse for us. Police department is terrible, as well as the Department of Sanitation. It's terrible in New York because they don't know what they're doing. Now let's get to this other story, where a former Texas mayoral candidate charged with sending fake jury summonses, postcards to his, oh my God. Yeah. So now he's arrested. He's got to go to court. So instead of him going to court doing what he got to do, he decides to send out fake summons postcards to people on his court date. They caught him. They figured out it was him. Why? Because he did this on the same date that he had to go to court. What was he trying to do? Overwhelm the system? I don't know. Was he trying to get a lot of people to go to court on the same day to try to make it so that they'll have to go to have his case come up? No idea. But he thought that doing this was basically going to help him and get him out of getting out of trouble. So, but it didn't work. This is what happened in the long run.
Tonight, the Denton County Sheriff's Office says it has solved the mystery of dozens of fake jury summonses that were sent out in North Texas. WFAA's investigative reporter Tanya Eiserer spoke with the sheriff, who says a former mayoral candidate was behind it all.
The postcards directed people to show up for jury duty December 9th. But they were fake. Now investigators say Zul Muhammad, a one-time Carrollton mayoral candidate, sent them. His trial on voter fraud-related charges was scheduled to start that same day.
So he was trying to overwhelm the system. He made a whole bunch of voter certifications and jury appearance paperwork to try to overwhelm the court, to tell them, hey, no court today. You got a lot of other stuff to deal with. Didn't work. And it was stupid too. It's so stupid, I can't explain it. I apologize.
It wasn't real difficult to put two and two together that at the very least, Mr. Muhammad was going to be a suspect.
It looks completely legit.
Cheryl Eager and her husband got one of those postcards.
I was a little suspicious. Why is it such short notice?
Court records say the sheriff's office collected 28 of the fake jury summons postcards. On 3 of them, they identified Muhammad's fingerprints.
He doesn't work in a post office, so that's zero chance of that happening randomly.
The sheriff says during a search, investigators found cardstock in the shredder matching the cardstock used to create the fake jury summons postcards.
The original case of Mr. Muhammad was brought to our attention by our elections office. They were seeing some irregularities in some ballots being sent to a P.O. box down in Louisville.
The sheriff says an investigator posed as a clerk during the 2020 investigation.
He's actually opening these ballots as we come into the house.
The sheriff says whatever Muhammad's intent in the latest case didn't work. A Denton County jury sentenced him to 4 years in prison on 25 counts and 10 years probation on 81 others.
So you basically got yourself in more trouble trying to do something stupid, basically. I just wanted you guys to see nonsense like that because that's what we got going on out here. Let's get to the wildfires and see what's going on with the progress that's being made with the wildfires in California, because this is massively important, guys.
Fires has now increased to 24. This comes as crews make progress on those wildfires, but the danger is not over. Those strong Santa Ana winds are expected to return. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the news at 10 o'clock. I'm Rick Chambers.
And I'm Cree Winter. Some promising news tonight. Firefighters making progress today on the 3 remaining active fires in Los Angeles. But officials stress this is not over yet.
Many areas damaged by the fire remain closed to the public tonight and still under curfew at this hour. The largest and most threatening fire, still the Palisades, with mandatory evacuation orders still in effect. Thousands of firefighters are still out there on the scene, though, as well as heavy trucks, air support. Firefighters are making good work on the Eaton fire, but officials say that structures are still being threatened there tonight, and 300 personnel are still working to contain the Hearst fire.
And sadly, as we mentioned, there are now 24 confirmed fire-related deaths in the Eaton and Palisades fires. The Palisades fire has now burned 23,713 acres and is 13% contained. The Eaton fire has burned over 14,100 acres and is 27% contained.
I want to give you guys some prayers, hopes, and solace. Hope you guys are making it through this terrible time. Everybody in Los Angeles who's ever lost family members, hope you guys are, making it through this, because there's no amount of prayers and, speech that we can give people on what's going on here. This has been going on for a ridiculously long amount of time. There's no water to put these fires out. And it's sad that they have to burn until they just diminish everything in their path. I mean, there's homes along the coastline that I saw in photos and video that are just devastated. And I'm just saying to myself, how come they couldn't use the ocean water that's right there to put these fires out? I mean, like, it is catastrophic. I don't even know what to say about it. That's how bad it is. But the only thing that I can do every day is keep you guys in my prayers, and everybody here hope that you guys are making it safely and that these tolls, the death tolls, go down. Yes, we can lose property. Yes, we can lose homes and stuff like that. But if we're alive, we can actually rebuild. And that's the main bottom line, guys. It just feels so bad about all this is going on. Gear Shift says all we can do is pray. Roxanne Carpenter, prayers up, blessings down. Real guys, real prayers for this, because it's no jokes, no BS. This is real terror that's happening right now. Really appreciate you guys. Please double tap, share the information. All I'm asking for is double taps on the likes. Don't worry about the money because I know that ain't happening for the cup of coffee. I got that. But do me a favor. Let's just get these likes up because we got about 100 and something people in the building. Let's tap it up and get some more likes going. Let's go.
As for the Hearst fire, that's holding steady tonight. 799 acres burned with 89% containment.
Let's go up to Sky 5 over the Palisades.
Gil Labus is overhead with the latest. Gil, hopefully no new hotspots tonight.
It doesn't look like it, Karine and Rick. We're looking right now at one of the several command posts set up here along a Pacific Coast Highway. You can see a lot of resources out here at this command post. This is off of PCH and Temescal Canyon Road. As I come out to a wide shot, you see the hillside there scorched from the Palisades fire, and I come out to a wide shot, and to the left is the burn scar. That's all this area here, over 24,000 acres that have burned tonight, but no hotspots. No flare-ups that we can see at this point. And looking out at the top of your screen to the right, I'm going to bring in our map system so you can see which direction we're looking. Now, Mandeville Canyon there at the upper right-hand side, all pretty quiet out here, but a lot of work, a lot of effort going.
So all they can do is rebuild at this point. I mean, as you can see, everything in those dark areas, that means that everything is burnt out and there's no more fire going. But it also means that all of those homes are now no longer. So yeah, our thoughts and our prayers go to all of the victims of the Los Angeles and California fires. Prayers go out to you. Amen. Let's move forward to the TikTok ban. How many of you guys care? Because to be honest with you, I don't. I don't get no love over on TikTok. And honestly, it's pretty hard to navigate. You got to do 1,000 videos and 1,000 people, whatever the case may be. Been on TikTok for maybe 2 years. Probably got like 12 subscribers or 12 likes or whatever. And I put a little bit of work into it, but I don't do all of the dancing and all of that crap. But, you know, a lot of people are saying that they're going to lose a lot of business. Many people rely on TikTok in order to do sales. And some are just saying that they don't really care, like myself. But what do you guys think? Are you a big TikToker? Do you care about TikTok? Do you do the dances? Let me know. Because right now they're really trying to figure out what they're going to do about TikTok. And this might be the end of it. And from what I'm hearing, the Supreme Court does not really care about the businesses that are going to lose money. They care more about the national security of it.
On Friday, the Supreme Court heard oral arguments on the final challenge to the federal law requiring the sale or ban of TikTok. Here to tell us more about what went down before the High Court is Ian Rosenberg, a First Amendment lawyer and author. Ian, good to see you. So I know people at home are watching. We're going to get to the questions we have for you in a moment, but I know kids and some business owners are saying, is this going to happen? This is going to happen? This is going to get banned?
This is going to happen. My prediction from listening to Supreme Court oral arguments is that a majority of the court at least will uphold the law.
Really? Wow, that is right. It's going to make a lot of people nervous. I know there's...
So yes, from what we're seeing and what everybody's saying, TikTok, it's going to be out of there. No more TikTok because of they wanted them to sell the shares that were owned by parts of the Chinese government because they can basically feel like they can step in at any time and get that information. Just like drones and stuff. DJI has the same problem. DJI is a China company that makes the drones. And our senators and our governors are basically trying to stop them from being able to sell drones to us because they feel like they can map out the US and get all of our information and use all of that video stuff against us. To be honest with you, it makes sense. It makes sense. Bye, Big Beast, says Lay Low. Austin, yo, Lay Low, hey, has video proof of the setup and episode and dumpsters starting fires? Yeah, man, you know that they're catching people out there with those blowtorches starting fires. Big Beast. All right, chat, be good. Have fun. All right, talk to you. Peace, Big Beast. So, yo, what do you guys think about this TikTok ban? Do you do a lot of TikToking? Is it going to affect your business? Because it's coming down. And Congress is not stopping. They're pushing forward.
A number of different layers to this, but let's talk about this. The law at issue here. So who exactly, I guess give me the players in the law that we're actually talking about.
Right. So on April 24th, 2024, President Biden signed the Protecting Americans Against Foreign Adversaries Controlled Applications Act, which required the sale of TikTok to a non-People's Republic of China company, or it would be banned on January 19th. The petitioners are TikTok Inc., which is an American company, although their parent company...
Again, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but again, something that Joe Biden did. They brought him a piece of paper and they said, this is hurting the US. And if you don't sign this into law, Blum, blum, blum. And he signed it. So Joe, I want you guys to understand, Joe Biden is part of this, the reason why TikTok is being banned. All you Democrats that voted for Joe, I'm gonna rewind it a little bit so you hear what he said. I need you to understand the underlining of what's going on here. Another Joe Biden move.
Or it would be banned on January 19th. The petitioners are TikTok Inc., which is an American
players in the law that we're actually talking about.
Right. So on April 24th, 2024, President Biden signed the Protecting Americans Against Foreign Adversaries Controlled Applications Act, which required the sale of TikTok to a non-People's Republic of China company, or it would be banned on January 19th. The petitioners are TikTok Inc., which is an American company, although their parent company, ByteDance, is based in China, correct? And a group of TikTok content creators. They're arguing that the Supreme Court should overturn the law as unconstitutional on First Amendment grounds. They say at its core that the law is about restricting speech and ideas, and that the First Amendment means anything. It means that you can't restrict speech to protect against dangerous ideas.
Because it's one thing to have all of our information, obviously, at the hands of Chinese adversaries and whatnot. It's another.
And guess what? Kamala Harris said that she was going to do even more than that. Kamala said that if she would have become the president, she would have made it even harder for companies for information gathering, privacy, and different things of that nature. So you guys basically don't even know that you dodged a major bullet in not electing this lady, because they're just going to keep on going more and more. I just got suspended off of Instagram the other day for putting something in the comments. It was almost like for 6 months. I was like, what? I had to what they call appeal it, and luckily they turned over the appeal. 6 months for a comment that I put up on Instagram. And I know you guys remember, I don't know if you ever was in Facebook prison or Facebook jail. How many people were in Facebook jail before or ever heard about what I'm talking about? Put a 1 in the chat if you ever been in Facebook jail before, because a lot of people have. That's when they suspend your account for whatever they feel like for a certain amount of time.
Another thing for like these business owners, I mean, people do Americans do a lot of business on TikTok. It's not just a social media app where people are looking at pictures.
That's right. And although the Supreme Court is not very tech savvy, they were well aware of that. But they were really seemingly unconcerned about that in connection with the data security interests.
What were some of the interesting points that you saw in listening to and obviously now having followed this what are some of the interesting points of this case?
Well, I thought there were 2 really revealing moments. One involved a hypothetical about Jeff Bezos, the TikTok lawyer. Jeff Bezos, of course, being the founder of Amazon and the owner of the Washington Post. What if Bezos' children were kidnapped by the PRC and thereby he was forced to put PRC propaganda on the front page of the Washington Post every day? This would be, TikTok argued, an unconstitutional infringement on Bezos' and the Post's rights. Pretty clearly, but the Supreme Court seemed unconvinced by this argument. Still, it seemed to highlight the point that just saying foreign influence on American-owned companies shouldn't be necessarily enough to be able to ban a whole speech platform.
And that's what I got from it. That's basically the bottom line of what I got from it. So they're going to push forward with this, guys. So sadly, if you do a lot of business on TikTok, yeah, it's happening. They're shutting it down. It's coming. And just want to bring you guys up to date on the blizzard of executive orders that's coming up. Because, yeah, Joe, you did your pardons. You played your game. You did everything that you tried to do on your outgo. You got about 3 days left. But on the incoming, we got a bunch of executive orders coming up, baby. A bunch of them. And watch what this means. Watch this.
Republicans are now in the House, the Senate, and the White House because Americans wanted safety and prosperity. So you're right. The rubber hits the road this week with all of these hearings on the cabinet. And then when President Trump takes office next Monday, there is going to be shock and awe with executive orders, a blizzard of executive orders on the economy. Monday, there is going to be shock and awe with Americans wanted safety and prosperity. So you're right. The rubber hits the road this week with all of these hearings on the cabinet. And then when President Trump takes office next Monday, there is going to be shock and awe with executive orders, a blizzard of executive orders on the economy as well as on the border.
So when you're looking at dozens of executive orders coming down all at once, some are going to squeak by unnoticed, others are going to get all the attention. So what do you think the headline will be in 7 days' time regarding these executive orders?
America on the comeback. Look, Barrasso is exactly right. We need to make sure that we get the cabinet confirmed. We need to make sure we have good economic policy. We have to secure our border. We need a robust and strong military. We need to rid our nation of DEI, CRT, and ESG and get back to meritocracy. That's what President Trump's agenda is about. It's strengthening us with our allies, holding our adversaries accountable, and getting strong policies that wasn't existing under the Biden administration. And so I look forward in only a week's time of getting President Trump back in the White House, supporting his agenda and helping the American people.
And tomorrow the confirmation hearings are going to begin, Congressman. And up at bat, Doug Collins, Pete.
That's that. So yeah, y'all, it's coming down. We got a couple more days. What do you guys feel about that? We got, what, how many more days until Trump take office? That was a couple of days ago. What, maybe three or 4 days left? 2? You guys ready? Because it's coming down. It's coming down. Also, want to show you guys something real quick. There's a mom who confronted Governor Newsom. She wanted to speak to him, and she basically is telling him, what are you planning on doing? How you guys going to help us get out of this HE double hockey sticks that we're in? Of course, like, you can't be responsible for overall everything, you know, what happened, but measures could have been put in play so that it wouldn't have been such destruction, so that we would have been able to combat these fires if we weren't worried about saving a fish. Let's see what this mom had to say to Governor Newsom about the fact that her family has lost their neighborhood, their homes, and everything that they've known as their place of living.
In California, as residents who've lost everything are now searching for answers, and Governor Gavin Newsom is hearing from them directly.
Governor, I live here, Governor. That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do.
All right, well, that confrontation spreading across social media as that woman tries to learn what the next steps are from officials. Let's bring in station's Rich McHugh, who spoke to the woman in that video. Rich, what did she have to say?
Hi, Nicole. So that's Rachel Darvish. She's a longtime resident of Pacific Palisades. I happen to be speaking to her since this fire actually began and every day since. And yesterday, she saw Governor Newsom in her neighborhood. She was back there returning to check on her home. She said, fortunately, it was still standing, damaged, but still standing, but she's still having to live in a hotel. But she saw Newsom, raced up to him, ultimately said, you know, after the fact, you're not doing your job. But let's listen to, in her own words, what she had to say.
I think he really was saying, we weren't prepared, we screwed up, I'm trying to figure out who else to blame. I mean, the first thing he did was he told me that the fire hydrants weren't his fault. You know, the first thing he told.
My question is, why don't he go ahead and resign? Why? Because, I don't want to resign while my state is going through all of this. But you part of the reason why it's going through it. Do me a favor, you guys, if you appreciate the content the way I appreciate you, let's get these likes up so everybody know what we're doing. Let's get these likes up so everybody know that we're here and that I'm working at 6 o'clock in the morning. Come on, not asking for no bread. You gotta buy me a cup of coffee, but I would appreciate if you could double tap the screen, double tap with the fist bump. We got 219 people. Can we get the 80 likes up? Can we get these likes up? Really appreciate that. No jokes, because I'm my own moderator and I will get you out of here. I love you to death, but I got to get paid for what I do. So do me a favor, double tap the screen. Really appreciate you guys. Come on now, double tap so we can get the likes. Pop, pop right there. Let's go. Let's get these likes up. 37 ain't good. I'm about to turn around and hit this so you guys can go ahead and see the rest of this interview with the mom that basically had a conversation with Newsom. Let's get them likes up, y'all. Let's get them up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, y'all. Let's get them likes up. 43 ain't good. Let's go. Let's go. You. I need you to double tap the screen. You. Yeah, you. Appreciate it. Come on. Love you. Thank you. Double tap.
Told everyone was that the fire department cut the fire lines and it was their fault. It's a local responsibility. When you are the governor of California and the city of Los Angeles is under your jurisdiction and the city say, I think he really was saying, we weren't prepared, we screwed up, I'm trying to figure out who else to blame. I mean, the first thing he did was he told me that the fire hydrants weren't his fault. You know, the first thing he told everyone was that the fire department cut the fire lines and it was their fault. It's a local responsibility. When you are the governor of California and the city of Los Angeles is under your jurisdiction and the city of Pacific Palisades is part of your jurisdiction, it doesn't matter who cut the line. It's your name on that cut.
So she's obviously very upset. She's an attorney by trade, Nicole. She is not going to stop. Having gotten to know her over the past 3 days, she is going to get answers one way or another.
Yeah, she's going to get answers. We know she's among thousands of residents there who are left with nothing.
Look at the horses. Look at the just total destruction. I mean, it's not even looking like a third world country. It looks like Iran or some sort of a war zone. This is terrible. This is 36,000 acres burned yesterday. That's crazy.
No home. How are they feeling?
Well, not great. I'll be honest. Like, she's talking to a lot of these people who are displaced. If you look at that video that we were just showing, the drone footage over Pacific Palisades, it shows you the absolute scope of the devastation. All of their homes basically just wiped out. But for context, I just want to give some numbers here. According to the LA controller, financial controller, last year the mayor, Karen Bass, set aside $1.3 billion for the homeless situation in LA, which is undoubtedly epidemic. According to the LA controller, again, $513 million of that money set aside for the homeless was not spent. Now, by contrast, she reduced the budget for the fire department by $17 million, from $837 million to $819 million. In a letter last month, the fire chief.
Why would you reduce the fire department when you know that California is susceptible to fires, brush fires, all sorts of things like that? If instead of using the money to reinforce and put things into areas to make it not happen. Who is governing? Who is the mayor? Who's in control? Who's in control?
Chief wrote to the mayor saying these budgetary reductions, quote, severely limited the department's capacity to prepare for, train for, and respond to large-scale emergencies, including wildfires, end quote. Listen to what Rachel Darvish had to say about that and the mayor's prioritization of the homeless instead of fires. Take a listen.
There is no town to go home to. With a home standing, I have nowhere to go. I cannot live there. And no one.
Yeah, if you have a house and you're the only one that lived there, that's like the Twilight Zone. That's like everything around you. That's like the episode of the Twilight Zone when the world ended and all he wanted to do was read books. So every place ended. The library blew up. The books was everywhere. He's reading for days. You know what messed him up? His glasses broke. And he couldn't go nowhere to get no new glasses. Just like the real life. If you can't go to the supermarket, you don't got people around you. What about neighborhood? How you gonna be hanging out, chilling in your house, and everything around you is total destruction? It's crazy. How could you live like that? Guys, do me a favor, double tap the screen, get the likes up. We still got more to go. Let's go.
No one with a house can. It's just not possible. I'm talking to people right now with kids, with dogs, with one shirt, and they're displaced. They are displaced. So we have two big problems. We have displacement and we have our children to worry about.
Well, there you have it, Nicole. I think that is something that we're going to hear echoed over and over in coming days and weeks and months.
Yeah, these residents understandably frustrated, understandably starting to get angry. All right, Rich McHugh, thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to.
Yeah, I'm starting to get angry too because I just don't think it's called for. And if there were measures that were put in play and people were basically saying, we knew that this could probably happen, why is it still happening? What is this about? What's going on?
The lady on the right-hand side of the screen is Rachel Darvish, and she was the lady in that video. Rachel, is that how people feel in California?
100%, Stuart. Thanks so much for having me. 100%.
Trump called on Newsom to resign. I guess you would agree with that.
I would agree that a person who is the governor of a state like California should be in a position to handle a crisis like this in a much better way than this governor did. So if resignation is the solution, then maybe he should. But that's down the line. I mean, I don't see the governor resigning today. What I hope for from the governor is an actual response that includes not just taking care of everyone that's been affected by this today, but I'm talking about the future, because the Pacific Palisades will be rebuilt. I guarantee you that. It is somewhere that's going to come back. My home was luckily saved. I just found out yesterday, but I have nowhere to go to. The house is in ruins. The town is in ruins. So when you ask me if the governor should resign, it's not going to matter necessarily at the moment. It's been done. What's happened has been done. What can we do going forward? I see a blame game happening. You saw it in the interview. You saw it when I confronted the governor. You saw nonchalance. You saw. I mean, I could go on and on.
Well, when the fire
wasn't the response I expected.
when the fire started, did you see firefighters, many firefighters, on the streets of where you live?
So I live at the top of the hill where this fire sort of generated and first moved to. When I got notification of the fire, I was in my house, and by the time I got to the front door, the fire was at my doorstep.
Wow.
It was at my doorstep.
You
So
asked for the
I,
governor's...
at that point, I didn't see any fire officials at that point. I didn't see any officials, period. All I saw were local residents and the gardeners and any of the workers that were around helping neighbors.
Total chaos, total destruction, total nightmare. Could you imagine? No, I don't want you to imagine it. I don't want you to ever have to imagine or go through anything like this. All I'm saying is we should make sure that we put preventive measures in play for crime as well as fire. We need to be preemptive as well as good after the fact. Because if we're preemptive, there's less work and less repair that we may have to do. And that's in life. And that's in everything that we do with ourselves. And with the reason why we even do this show. We prepare ourselves with information. We come to somewhere, no matter what the company that is delivering it, whether it's MSNBC, whether it's CBS, whether it's Pix, whether it's Fox. We need the information. We put it in here, then we determine as human beings what we're going to do with it. Whether you're Democrat, Independent, or Republican, you're still a human being. So we're supposed to share information. Still love each other and understand that we still have to be civil, still respect each other. That's how I feel about life, and that's the reason why I do the show. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Going over to the website, www.drinkbigdrip.com. Get yourself some merch, puff print hoodies. Check us out. Leave me a comment. I always respond even after the videos are done if you leave a comment. I think that it's important to stay interactive with the people. Also, you guys like the content? Go on ahead and click on something. Subscribe. It's in one of these areas. Got another video coming up soon. But like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. Fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So till tomorrow, get 'em! 1.